Our next two guests are looking to be a part of that wave by addressing some issues concerning many Americans.
That's right. So for more on this, we're going to welcome a congressional candidate in New Hampshire and former Assistant Press Secretary. It looks like Karoline Leavitt, that is. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Karoline, the raid of Trump's Mar-a-Lago home occurred 100 days before the midterms. Do you think this was politically motivated?
I have no doubt in my mind that the FBI raid on my former boss's, President Trump's home, was absolutely political. This is just another tactic in the 4, 5, 6 year-long witch hunt against our president. It began the day after he beat Hillary Clinton in 2016. They were spying on our administration, on his campaign. It then moved on with the Russia collusion hoax that wasted billions of our tax dollars and so much time on the behalf of the American people. And now they are trying to prevent him from holding office again because they know that he is our only hope in draining the corrupt swamp, holding the corrupt Democrats accountable, and ensuring that we're actually delivering for the American people. I talk to voters in New Hampshire every single day. I was actually door knocking the day after this raid occurred. It has only emboldened Republicans, conservatives, and frankly, just freedom-loving Americans across this country who are so scared about the corruption that is involved in the administrative state and the bureaucracy in our nation. So that's why I'm running for Congress, to shake up the swamp, pass term limits, and ensure we have a new generation of leaders that are willing to put America first and fight against the establishment.
Okay, and joining Karoline is U.S. Army veteran and congressional candidate in Florida, Cory Mills. Cory, glad that you're with us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right. So one of the big questions that many people are asking and wondering and even talking about, do we think that the raid will actually bring more voters, specifically Republicans, to the ballot box? A lot of people are very frustrated and angered by what they're seeing, and we're seeing a lot of rallying of the base.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you're going to see not only record high turnouts, but you're also going to see record high fundraising and pushes for President Trump to run in 2024. You know, we have to understand that President Trump made it clear long ago that they weren't after him, they were after us, and he was just in the way. They just violated constitutional liberties whenever they actually violated the Fourth Amendment with the unlawful search and seizure of his property. We know this is politically motivated. I've seen it in my race where we're starting to see more political attacks as we move towards the primary. I'm in a key flip seat here in Florida, which was a Democrat seat, which is now going to go Republican. And so we know that as we move closer to primaries, as we move closer to midterms, and as we move closer to the presidential election, we're going to see more and more of this kind of unlawful and targeting of politics onto the conservative party.
And one of the things we noticed was CPAC, which happened recently, is former President Trump received 69 support in a straw poll that they did. Karoline, do you think that Trump's influence is going to continue to be a thing as we come into midterms? And do you think this raid could push him to actually announce a presidential run sooner?
I can tell you what I know, which is what I hear from voters on the ground in New Hampshire every single day. They unequivocally look to President Trump as the leader of this party. And as I said, the FBI raid has only emboldened them, made them love him more, and made them realize again how corrupt the swamp truly is. And they believe, and I believe, that Donald Trump is the only hope that we have to fight back again and get Joe Biden, this disastrous administration, out of the White House. So I pray that President Trump runs for president again. I believe that he will, and if he does, he absolutely will win as long as we enforce some election integrity efforts and ensure that the Democrats can't pull the shenanigans they did in 2020. But voters are with him in New Hampshire. I am with him, and I hope that the president will make another run for office.
All right. Another major issue facing the country right now, there are a lot. Army recruitment. Now, this continues to fall. Cory, as a veteran, what do you make of the declining interest in serving? We're hearing more and more of this. People just aren't signing up anymore, or they're dropping out.
Well, I mean, you can put this solely on the Biden administration. I mean, you look at the unconstitutional vaccines. They were forcing certain soldiers to go against their religious liberties. They're actually purging out those who weren't loyal to the Biden administration. They have started focusing on things like pronouns and critical race theory, inclusiveness, and diversity, as opposed to increased lethality, readiness, and preparedness. You're seeing a 15,000, man shortage. That is an entire U.S. Army regiment. That is something that we would deploy to actually go in and be able to fight an entire war or to defend our nation. And instead, they're more worried about getting 87,000 IRS agents. Why don't they focus on trying to get 87,000 more Border Patrol agents? Why aren't they focused on 87,000 more law enforcement agents to keep the criminality down? Why aren't they focused on increasing our recruitment numbers so that we can actually be security and ready on the world stage? So, you're showing what the actual prioritization is, and it's not trying to make our military ready. It's not trying to make us safer, and it's not trying to strengthen us politically or militarily. It's trying to weaken us.
All right, Cory Mills, Karoline Leavitt, thanks to both of you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.